Your cat jumps onto your lap. It curls into a warm, dense ball. And then that sound starts. That low, rhythmic vibration that seems to travel right through your chest. You feel your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches, something in your body just settles. You probably think that's just a cat being cozy, but the real answer is far stranger. What is actually happening inside that sound, inside your body, and inside millions of years of biology is one of the most quietly astonishing stories in all of animal science. Let's start with what a purr actually is. Most people assume it's simple. Cat is happy, cat purrs. But that explanation falls apart almost immediately. Cats purr when they're content. They also purr when they're injured, giving birth, dying, or terrified at the vet. A purr is not a happiness signal. It is something far more complex and far more useful than that. The sound itself is produced by a rapid rhythmic movement of the muscles in the larynx, that's the voice boxer, which causes the glottis, the part of the larynx surrounding the vocal cords, to open and close during both inhalation and exhalation. That's what creates the continuous sound in both directions. No other animal does this quite the way domestic cats do. And the frequency of that vibration? It sits almost always between 25 and 150 hertz. That range matters enormously. Why that range specifically? Researcher Elizabeth von Muggenthaler, a bioacoustic specialist, published findings in 2001 pointing to something remarkable. Frequencies between 25 and 50 Hz have been shown to promote bone density and healing in living tissue. When you expose bone and muscle to vibration in this frequency range, cellular regeneration accelerates, fractures heal faster, muscle tears recover more efficiently. This is not folk wisdom. It is measurable, documented biology. Cats, who are notorious for surviving falls and injuries that would destroy most animals, may be using their own purr as a self-healing tool during periods of rest. The purr is not just sound, it is medicine. And that changes everything about how you understand the animal on your lap. Think about what a cat's life actually demands. Bursts of intense, explosive movement followed by long, deep rest. A cat sleeps between 12 and 16 hours a day. During that stillness, bones and muscles that were under violent stress during a hunt or a fall are not just resting. They may be actively vibrating back to full strength. Evolution, it seems, did not leave cats with an idle mechanism. It gave them a built-in physiotherapy device running continuously, quietly, 24 hours a day. But here's where the story turns and points directly back at you. When your cat purrs in your lap, your body is not just hearing that sound, it is physically receiving it. Vibration at those low frequencies travels through direct contact into your tissue. Your bones feel it, your nervous system registers it, and your brain does something very specific in response. Dr. Alan Beck at Purdue University and Dr. Aaron Katcher at the University of Pennsylvania conducted foundational research in the 1980s on the physiological effects of human-animal interaction. What they found was clear and consistent. Simply being in the presence of a companion animal, stroking it, hearing it, measurably lowered blood pressure, reduced cortisol levels, and slowed heart rate. The effect was not psychological placebo. It was happening in the body, in the blood, in the cardiovascular system. Your stress architecture is ancient. Your nervous system was built for a world of predators and scarcity where the threat never fully disappeared. Cortisol, the hormone associated with stress, was designed for short, necessary bursts. But modern life keeps it elevated almost constantly. Your body is running an old alarm system in a world that triggers it continuously without ever fully switching it off. And then a cat climbs onto your lap and starts vibrating at 40 Hz. What happens next? The body interprets low-frequency rhythmic vibration as a signal of safety. This is deeply embedded. Rhythmic sound and vibration, heartbeats, breathing, rocking are among the first sensory experiences of a mammal's life. They signal proximity to warmth, to safety, to another living body. When you feel a purr, something ancient in your nervous system registers it as a marker of calm, closeness, and security. Your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest counterpart to fight or flight, activates. Your cortisol drops. Your heart rate slows. You are, without consciously choosing it, being regulated by a small creature whose ancestors were worshipped in ancient Egypt. Does the cat know it's doing this? That's a genuinely difficult question. There is emerging evidence that cats have developed a specific version of the purr when they want something from humans, usually food. Researcher Karen McComb at the University of Sussex studied this in 2009 and identified what she called the solicitation purr. This purr embeds a high-frequency cry, close to the frequency of a human infant's cry, inside the lower rumble. Human listeners, even those who had never owned a cat, rated this version as significantly more urgent and harder to ignore. The cat, it appears, has learned to speak directly to your parental instincts. It has reverse-engineered your neurology. So you are not just passively soothed by a purring cat, you are in some sense being communicated to, regulated, and gently manipulated by a creature that has spent thousands of years learning exactly what your nervous system responds to. The domestic cat has lived alongside humans for roughly 10,000 years. Unlike dogs, which were actively bred and shaped by human selection, cats largely domesticated themselves. They moved toward human settlements because humans attracted rodents, and rodents attracted cats. The relationship was mutual from the start, useful for both parties, and somewhere in those 10,000 years, the purr became part of the contract. A wildcat ancestor did not need to purr for a human, but a cat sharing space with one, competing for attention and resources with other animals, learned that the purr worked. It opened laps, it softened people. It turned a potentially indifferent human into a reliable source of food, shelter, and warmth. The purr in this light is not just biology. It is one of the most successful communication strategies in the history of human-animal coevolution, and you are on the receiving end of it every time. The next time your cat jumps onto your lap, your shoulders will drop without you deciding to drop them. Your jaw will unclench, your cortisol will begin to fall, your heart rate will slow, something in your body will settle, and now you'll know it's not just a cat being cozy. It's 10,000 years of evolution, 25 hertz of carefully tuned vibration, and one small animal that learned exactly how to reach inside your nervous system and turn the alarm off.